we had a very spirited, conversation at halftime. But quite honestly, just, I give a lot of credit to VMI and their players and staff. You could tell from the first possession, they were moving at a different pace than we were. And it took us a while to get going. Eventually we did, we got going. I thought our play was really sparked by some seniors. And, that was great on senior day. William Rice, scores his first goal here in Robins Stadium, and played really poised out there. Andrew Caples makes a big play. Shane Grant makes a big play. Just a variety of seniors, made some awesome plays in the second half to get us rolling. So first half was a dogfight. Their goalie, I thought their goalie stood really, on his head for a while, made some incredible saves. We settled in. That probably made us think twice about shooting some shots that normally we would shoot. But he played great. So, listen, at the end of the day, it's a conference game. We know those conference games are going to be a battle. Today was a battle. Their team played great. Our team responded. They had a little, run at the end. What better can you ask for to, get a win, but also understand that you have to do things a certain way to be able to play the way that you hope to play with on game day.
Can you look forward a little bit heading into Thursday without knowing, or speaking of your opponent, how do the Spiders feel about things?
Well, we just had a great conversation after the game. I think our seniors are ready to keep playing for as long as is humanly possible, and they seem pretty dialed and pretty committed to doing the little things that we need to do. So, going back down to High Point, playing those guys who looks like we're playing them, in the first round, always tough. So we know we're going to get their best shot at their home, their home stadium. They've got great coaches and players. So again, it's going to be a battle for sure.
Let me ask you to share your thoughts on Ray Barron in general, and today he had a big turnover cause there at the end, a couple minutes left, 2-goal game, and what he brings to the table.
Ray is just so steady, so reliable. The plays that he makes out here, we've had the privilege of watching for 5 years. That's when I saw that he was on the ball in that moment, I relaxed, I'll be honest, because I felt like, all right, this is a guy whose sense of urgency is always high and always makes plays, especially in these moments. He's been here and he made the play. Yeah, so happy for him. It was his second senior day, but he leads that group on the field for sure.
A little bit about Ryan. He basically has rewritten the Spider record book. There may be not a greater player in Spider lacrosse history than Ryan.
There's probably not a better player than Ryan in Spider history. Ryan is such a competitor. I'm sure, if you were to talk to him right now, and I don't know what his stats were, I think he had a variety of points, but I bet you he'd be pretty disappointed, with himself today, to be honest with you, because he just didn't play up to his standard, and he has set such a high standard for himself that sometimes it's just impossible for him to play up to that standard. But he's earned the rope, in my opinion, to play through some mistakes, and he's been incredibly coachable this year. So I have no doubt that he's going to be focused and ready to go for the next one.
Definitely wasn't the start we were looking for, and we just kind of had a talk in halftime and just really had to get our mindset right, and we knew those first 5 minutes in the third quarter were going to set the tone for the rest of the game, and it did, and brought us back on top. And I just feel like we need to come out with that energy that we had in the third quarter for every game.
Can you tell yet if this sort of momentum can help you at High Point as the week progresses?
I wouldn't say necessarily the momentum, but I would say this is kind of just a wake-up call after beating High Point last week. just kind of have to, like, this got us on our toes, and we know how important this week is in preparation. The game we're playing in a couple days isn't the same game that we played last week, and we need to understand that, and it's not going to be the same team. And so just doing everything we can to prepare to play a brand new team.
Could you speak to the calamity in front of the goal here when you kind of went face first after getting cut? And, you know, what happened and if you were close to not returning?
Yeah, I mean, I just picked it up and kind of rolled inside and just saw an opening in front. I just got, like, kind of hit in the back of the head. Just like anytime I feel like you get hit in the head in any contact sport, it's just like your body kind of goes into a shock, which I kind of did. But I got up, I went through the concussion protocol, and I was able to go back in.
Lastly, as you move forward to Thursday, what has to happen for Richmond to win this tournament? Is there sort of a formula you guys have latched onto this season that's the way to go?
I mean, I would just say it's just like committing to what we've done all season. I mean, we've been doing this now for 8-9 months, and the way we've won tournaments in the past is just committing to those things every day. Like, I know Coach Tamati preaches for offensively, just watching the ball into your stick. It's such a simple thing, but it's won him multiple tournaments here. So just sticking to those fundamentals and just sticking to like our overall mindset here at Richmond and not changing from that.
I think you kind of hit it on the head. We just kind of came out slow to begin with. Wasn't our best effort from the beginning. Like he kind of said, that third quarter spark. We came out of the locker room just with a different type of energy, which he pointed out like we needed to have that right from the beginning. Luckily, we were able to find it at some point, and it kind of just triggered that momentum that we needed. But we can't have those starts. We can't have that length of a lapse in judgment of just not playing to our potential and not playing down to an opponent in any way, but just not playing to who we are and who we know we can be.
You are a fifth-year man at
Yes, sir.
Richmond, and this is the time of year you return for in some ways. Could you speak to that point and how this week is so important to the program and you specifically?
Yeah, I mean, I think coming back from my fifth year, this was a big – I mean, last year losing was a big part of me wanting to come back. I remember specifically after we lost last year in the locker room, I went up to Tim Adams, who I didn't think was going to want to come back, and I told him, I was like, we got to come back and we have to win this thing again. In some sense, like this whole year has kind of been playing for this tournament. I didn't want to get ahead of myself in any way, but it's a big thing that us as a senior class, us as me, Ryan, and Tim, and the fifth years that came back to this program have been working for this entire year. So it's definitely a special moment to be back in the tournament, back chasing another championship for us, but we're not going to let the moment get too big. We're going to do what we can, prepare the right way, and we have a game Thursday. We got to win that game first for anything to happen. So all of our focus is, whoever we're playing Thursday, and just preparing the right way to win that game.
Hey, and lastly, from me, as I asked Mr. Young, is there a Richmond formula to win games that you take with you to the Southern Conference tournament?
I think Dalton kind of hit on the head. It's just the fundamentals: picking up ground balls, looking the ball into your stick, not getting ahead of yourself. All those little things that we do, that we practice every single day before, like the beginning of practice, throughout practice. If we stick to those, stay true to who we are, it's pretty hard to beat us as long as we don't beat ourselves. And that's the area where when we don't stick to those fundamentals, when we don't pick up ground balls, when we're not catching and throwing the ball the right way, we're just hurting ourselves. No team is playing better than us in that point. It's just us beating ourselves. So if we can control those things that we can control, it's pretty hard to beat us, and we're going to be pretty good down the stretch.